Hello, Crafty Journaler. Welcome to the Crafty Journaler. My name is Sarah, and this is my channel where I do crafts for junk journaling. I also do different related content to junk journaling. And as of late, I have joined the movement of using my freedom of speech in my channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, let a friend know that we're here. That way you could help me grow this channel. I know that's not very fun, but the more you do that, the more my content gets out there. Today I actually want to start this little craft and rant with you by reading a piece of a verse of the Bible. It's chapter 4, verse 32. Be kind and compassionate to one another, and forgive just as Christ forgave you. The reason I wanted to read that specific verse is because I think that we are nearing a time where people are going to start having their come to Jesus moment. Some of them already have. And I think that the reactions that we're giving these people are a little, what's the word that I am looking for? They're not helping anyone, really. I think that calling people names or being like, oh, fawful, or being like, you had it coming, and whatever it is that you think that you needed to get off your chest, because we are human, right? We're all human and we have feelings, and we're not God. So it's easy to lose compassion as a person. We're human, and especially when we feel wronged in some way, it's easy to be like, well, you had it coming. But it's not helpful, especially in the era of time that we are in. I think it's really, really important to actively fight against that feeling and practice a little more compassion, because we're going to need them in our ranks. We're going to need these people to join our fight against this oligarchy and against this regime, this fascist regime. I am a YouTuber, right? I mean, I have a hard time calling myself a YouTuber because, I mean, I'm not a big channel or anything, and I don't really have a lot of reach at the moment, but I do have opinions, and these are all my opinions. I think that we all are entitled to share our opinions as long as we're not inciting any type of violence. I do think that it is important to always educate yourself before you go and believe everything that anybody is saying. I don't think that hearing one person's own opinion and then forming yours is smart. I think it's important to hear a lot of different opinions before you form your opinion. And while you are out there looking through these opinions, it is important to fact check these opinions, because that is important, guys. It should never be the end, one and done kind of thing. It's never the end all of hearing just one person's opinions. I can't reinstate that enough. It's important to always fact check. It is actively fight against echo chambers, and yeah, so it's important to do that, especially since we are in a time where we're gonna have to re-educate and reconfront people with realities. There is someone that I would like to use as a kind of a ray of light for this type of mentality, right? Of like being a little more forgiving and all that, because there is somebody that was called the MAGA grandma, and now she goes by the ex MAGA grandma or something like that. And this person went to January through the January 6th thing. She actually was part of the riots. She was convicted of her part in January 6th, for her part in January 6th. And then in the pardons that the dear leader gave out, she actually opted out because she believed that she came to the realization that she did wrong. She came to the realization that she was in a cult, and she believes, one of the things that she says is that people should be confronted with that reality over and over until they get it, to be able to deprogram. And I know it's hard to do that, but it is important to do it, and it's important to do it in a healthy manner. I will say that you can't do it without compassion, because the moment that you do it without compassion, that's the moment that people are going to shut down. Nobody likes being told or being proved wrong. So yeah, we need to practice a little bit more of the compassion. Now, I know it's hard, especially when we see this guy doing the most obvious fascist things. For example, he just had a military graduation that he attended where he curated the graduating people that were going to be shown on the television or whatever. And it is kind of crazy and wild how this person is able to get away with a lot of this, especially when you find out by doing some light reading that the military is supposed to be apolitical when they are in their uniform. They are not allowed to give their opinions when they are in their uniform. And they're booing and cheering for this man when he's saying very fascist things and speaking against, it's not against, using his platform, his power that he has to target his political opponents. That's what it is. And the military people that are behind him are like cheering and booing and doing all of that, which is showing your political opinion while you're in uniform, which is not correct. I'm not sure if that's like a court-martial offense, like that they could get court-martialed for this, or what process there is. Honestly, probably none, because of who's in the military, who's the head of the military right now. Like, they're all fascists. They're all people that hate without any type of compassion, people that are not aligned to them or are of brown or black skin, and or that are people of color. Like, these people just hate indiscriminately. Their love is only for monetary gain, from where I'm standing. That's my belief. So it's chilling, really. It's scary. It's kind of crazy to see them be so blatant with their political views while they're on their uniforms. Now, I do know that this is very much what they want. They want us to believe that the military are all for Trump. They want us to believe that they're all gonna back him, and they want to make us fear into submission, into falling in line, into capitulating, into giving up our rights without a fight. And I think that would be a bad idea for anybody that enjoys freedom of speech. And this goes for my fellow citizens that don't have the same political views that I do. I want to tell you that all of this is setting a precedent for some ill-willed person in the future to use these same type of tactics against you. By allowing this type of behavior now, it is setting a precedent to be used against us in the future. I just, that is something that I wish people would speak about a little bit more. People that have a better understanding of how all of this works, people that are probably a lot better at delivering information. I'm a crafter, guys. I'm aware that I am out of my lane a little bit, but I think that we all we all have a part to play. I know that that's something that I've kept saying over and over, and it's probably something that people are like, this is not your lane. This is my country. This is how I feel, guys. This is my country, so therefore it is my lane. I love my country. I am a believer of patriotism, and I believe that we need to defend our Constitution. And when our government is not doing that for us, then we all need to find a way to put our small little piece of grain to fight against people that are not protecting our Constitution. So it's important to keep in mind that everything that we do, say, and all of that, it can and will be used against us in one way or another if we are not smart. So we need to keep it classy as we are trying to fight against this oligarchy. I mean, it's kind of wild how they're able to rewrite history whenever they want to. Like, for example, I watch a lot of like the press conferences that the White House has, and the woman that speaks for them. She's always wearing a cross. She's always saying that they're saving the country. I'm not sure from what. It's kind of hard to see what they're saving the country from, because from where I'm sitting, she's right. There is a spiritual fight that is going on right now for our country, except that I believe that the side of compassion, the side of mercy, the side that is showing all the Christian values is not theirs. And I especially find it kind of wild that they continuously want to portray the California situation as an imminent danger to our country. They want to portray it as like, it's burning down, everything is burning down, and the dear leader had to do what he had to do, because if he didn't do that, then it was going to be bad for all of us. The end. What they don't share proof, and even the proof that they do share, it is either out of date, or it is the same 3 or 4 clips over and over and over again. And then they fail to show the peaceful side of the protest, which is like people out there dancing and, peacefully protesting. I've even seen videos of people laying flowers in front of some of the military National Guard people, and you could tell that some of the National Guard people are just following orders, and it's probably hard for them to have to do that, but orders are orders. However, I will say this to anybody that has a military member that is out there: let them know that they do have a way out by contacting the I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'm going to put it up right here. So if you contact them, they will help you. If you feel like you're doing something that you are not for, you could contact them and they will help you. Especially if you feel like you're gonna break a law by doing and following those orders. I will also, like, frankly remind a lot of people that when the time came for Nazi Germany to pay for the crimes, the soldiers were not allowed to use "I was just following an order" as a plea or as a way of defending themselves. So that is something to keep in mind. It is important to know that military person that you made an oath, and I'm sure that a lot of people that are in the military know this. You made an oath not to a president. You made an oath to a constitution, to our country. And protecting the constitution from enemies foreign and within is what you should be doing. The reason that I'm saying that is because there is a lot of overreach because of all the moving parts that are in this whirl of the wind of what they want to portray the peaceful protest as. They're overreaching because they want to make sure that their narrative is the only narrative that's being shared. So they want to mobilize. Well, I mean, they did mobilize National Guards. They're sending military to California. I know that in my state, our governor has decided to mobilize the National Guard, which is also kind of like wild to me. I mean, even the fact that people that are actually in power. I'm not necessarily saying that they're doing this yet to any YouTubers or any content creators that are like joining the movement by sharing information in their channels, but they are doing this to people of power. They're trying to continuously overreach and silence people. There was actually today a senator in California that went to an interview that Ice Barbie was making, and so Ice Barbie decided to do that interview. The senator, who was a Democratic senator, was trying to ask a question and was trying to talk. Cameras were rolling, so there is parts of like this on camera, and he is being pushed out by, I'm not sure if they're like Secret Service or if they're like I just know that they're part of the government. Government officials are like shoving him and pushing him. He is then recorded on the cell phone of the cell phone that belongs to one of his employees, and the people that are like detaining him, because I believe he was let go soon after, but the people that were detaining him were telling him that his employee, that he wasn't allowed to record. And the employee's like, I have to record, like, this is my boss, it's for his safety. And they're all like, no, you can't record, you can't record. So they're overstepping, is my point. Like, the overstepping of our government is happening now. It's not a question of like, oh, it can be, or oh, maybe yes, maybe no. It Fascism is here. I am of the strong belief that it's here, and I think it's important to call it out. It is also important that as we fight against this oligarchy and not allow ourselves to capitulate or fall in line or whatever it is that you want to call that, as important as it's not to do that, it's also important to how we do it. It's important to keep the narrative in our favor And the only way we're going to do that is by actively making sure that we are being mindful of the optics. And it is important to keep it peaceful in these upcoming California has been peacefully protesting for days now. I know that here in Texas there has been a few protests that have happened in DFW, in San Antonio, Houston, but they're not as big as in California right now. But there is going to be big protests coming this weekend, the No Kings protest. And if you are going to participate in these protests, I would recommend for you to check out a video. I believe she's called Leeja Miller or Leeja Miller. The video that I'm talking about is the chaos in the point. I will link down that video down below. She talks about how it's important to remember that when we are protesting, the goal for the opponent, the government, is to get you justifiably angry to be able to use that against you. So there is justification. Like, they will, if they want to agitate, they're going to agitate one way or another. It is important to know that if we respond, the optics of that would be more detrimental than peacefully protesting. Peacefully protesting would be beneficial because when we peacefully protest, there's a higher chance that we reach more people because they will see that we are just fighting for the Constitution. We're fighting to keep our country a free democracy. And so I would recommend you checking out that video. The power in peaceful protest is important. I do want to say that it is important to not let yourself be silenced in fear. If there is anything that Harry Potter ever taught us, is that by not calling things by their name, it gives them power. So we need to start using those names. We need to start calling fascism fascism. We need to start calling inhumanity inhumanity. We need to call things unconstitutional when they are. I know times are rough, but if we just remember to be compassionate to one another, I think we might have a chance. Being human and compassionate go hand in hand, and we all are human. So let's practice compassion, and let's keep up the good fight, guys, because hope is the last thing that we will ever lose. With that being said, I hope that today you are doing well. I will probably try to put this up as soon as I can. It is important to share this, so if you can, please be sure to share, comment, like, subscribe, do all of that. It helps the channel grow and it'll help us get the message out there. I eventually will be able to get back to just doing crafts and stuff like that. But until further notice, this is where we're at, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Please stay safe out there if you are out there peacefully protesting. And remember that the narrative matters. The optics matter. I hope you have a great day. That's a wrap. Bye.